When President Cyril Ramaphosa addressed a controversial topic at a recent parliamentary meeting, specifically his 2019 political decision commitment to construct 1 million residences, he created a stir in Alexandra Municipality. Julius Malema, the founder of the EFF, posed the question to find out whether the president's commitment was limited to the municipality. Before we continue, please kindly subscribe to our channel. Turn on notification bell so as to get all our updates. Consequently, Ramaphosa emphasized that the commitment was always intended to be more of a national obligation than anything specifically specified for Alexandra. He explained that his pledge to create 1 million houses was intended for the whole country, not just a specific area. I will say I am sorry for having caused individuals to accept that I implied for Alexandra. What I truly implied was we would need to fabricate 1 million houses for the entire country, Ramaphosa stated. The president eventually offered an answer when a number of Alexandra citizens and opposition organizations questioned his obligation to solve the city's housing situation, which has long been caused by overpopulation and inadequate infrastructure. He had made an underlying assertion during his voyage, which many had taken to be an instant pledge to the Alexandrians. This interpretation gave rise to a lot of assumptions. The delayed rate of accommodation supply in South Africa, where several networks, like Alexandra, are still experiencing acute shortages in this sector, was another aggravating element. The president apologized for whatever hurt his earlier statements may have caused and accepted the mistake. Ramaphosa reaffirmed his administration's commitment to provide more dwellings throughout the nation at the wonderful occasion. Even if Alexandra is crucial, the public authorities' priority is still giving all South Africans access to decent homes, as he showed in his continuous attempts to meet the larger housing goal. The president's justification seeks to challenge presumptions and refocus attention on public housing objectives. It does, however, draw attention to the difficulties the government has in handling the large number of housing requests it receives. Experts estimate that further significant discoveries will be needed for unlucky networks in order to translate promises into tangible outcomes. In light of South Africa's increasing urban population and the persistent difficulties associated with informal settlements, the public authority's capacity to deliver on its housing commitments will continue to be a central issue in the discourse. Once more, distinguished political analyst Value Malala has demanded that former President Jacob Zuma oversee penalties in the event that he is unable to sanction his instances of controlled political choice with what he described as elephant-sized verification. Malala's remarks are in response to Zuma's repeated accusations that the Independent Electoral Commission, IEC, manipulated the results of late elections to favor his opponents in politics. With a history of making dubious statements, Zuma has strengthened his style of speaking and accused the IEC of manipulating the results to lessen both his and his allies' political influence. Zuma makes serious accusations, but it doesn't seem like he can yet provide any solid evidence to support them. Malala, who is renowned for his incisive analysis of political leaders, has boldly challenged Zuma to provide undeniable proof or face serious consequences for disseminating false information. Malala claims that open faith in the selection cycle and the morality of South Africa's democratic underpinnings can theoretically be destroyed by Zuma's absurd cases. Jacob Zuma cannot keep bringing absurd charges without taking responsibility. Malala said in a transmission interview that he should be held accountable for disseminating false information and attempting to undermine the IEC if he is unable to provide credible confirmation to support his explanations. He said that such accusations, if they were to go too far, may have dangerous repercussions for the nation's stability and the legitimacy of its democratic processes. Zuma's cases have also been pardoned by the IEC, which has reiterated its commitment to facilitating free and impartial decisions. The Commission has requested that all political social events and trailblazers recognize the consequences of the optional communication and resolve any issues via legitimate ways rather than filing public complaints. Malala's appeal for a real campaign against Zuma has drawn support from a few places, including legal professionals and members of the general public. They argue that keeping Zuma in mind is essential to upholding the rule of law and stopping the spread of deceit. The more they talk, the more pressure there is on Zuma to reveal his attestations or provide the promised elephant-sized